read you our waiver. So, hi everyone, my name is Claire. Welcome to Barre. We're going to go ahead and get started. So, in order to make these classes as freely accessible to our participants, we will be using a verbal warning and assumption of risk at the beginning of class. Participation in this online class is voluntary. Physical activity programs may result in injury, and by participating, you assume the risk of injury that may result from your participation. We strongly recommend that you participate from a space that is suitable for this activity. For example, make sure that you have moved nearby furniture and other potential hazards. If you are participating in a yoga class or a class that involves laying on the ground, we recommend using a mat, or if you don't have one, a carpeted area. Participants are encouraged to stop if they experience pain or injury and should seek appropriate medical advice or care as needed. William & Mary Health and Wellness strongly recommends that each participant have an annual physical examination and follow the advice of your healthcare provider before participating. All right, so with that, we are going to go ahead and get started. Once again, please let me know if there's any issues with the Wi-Fi, but with that, we're going to go ahead and get started. You can go ahead and play playlist I made or whatever you like to listen to today. We're just going to start by stepping from side to side and rolling our shoulders back. And then we're going to switch in a minute to forwards. All right, switch directions. You may have noticed if you're regular, I switched my location a bit. It's still my room, but I switched the side, so hopefully the sun won't drown me out like last time. It seems to be better. All right, take your right hand, stretch it across your chest, grabbing in front of or behind your elbow, but not on it, just to give yourself a nice stretch of those arms as we get started. All right, now shoot that arm behind your back, walking those fingers down your back to give a nice deep stretch. Maybe bend those knees a bit, just getting yourself warmed up this morning, getting in touch with your breath and your movement as we get started. All right, changing to your left hand, stretch it across. Nice gentle tug with that right hand. Maybe adding in that slight bend of the legs and straighten as we go. And then shooting that hand behind your back, so walk those fingers down. If you're listening to today's playlist, the theme was TikTok dances, so I did a lot of TikTok songs, had my friends help, so because I'm not as up to date, so they helped me a lot, but if you're listening, feel free to jam out to any ones you know or don't recognize. All right, shake out those hands, maybe bounce back and forth a bit, just getting that heart rate going. Bouncing, and then coming to a standstill, bringing your feet shoulder distance apart, resting your palms on your thighs. We're just gonna do some cat-cow, so breathe in, arch that back like you're a cat hissing, and then exhale to curve that spine and look up like a cow. Curve in, cat, curve out. Just do a few of these to stretch out that back, get in touch with your breath. It's mid-afternoon, so maybe you've had some classes or some work. So getting in touch with some movement again. I know I need to. I just did back-to-back classes. All right, one more for each. Good. Bring your arms out in front of you, making a diagonal line from your shoulder to your wrist. And we're going to do some slight pulses down in this position. You want your knees above your ankles in this nice little tiny squat position. Not super deep, just slight. And then lift that right heel off the ground to deepen that plie. We're waking up our calves, our thighs today for a nice slight pulse. And switch feet. Now your left foot is up, keeping that positioning equal weight, just lifting that heel to wake up your body a bit. Good. Switch again for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch again. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job. Bring those hands above your head. Give it a nice big stretch. Bring them down to your sides. We're just going to start with a standing march to bring our heart rate up during today's workout. Making sure that you are challenging yourself, but also being cognizant of whatever state you're in today, whatever you're feeling for today's workout. I will give you options throughout today's class for whatever intensity workout you're looking for. All right, bring those hands above your head and bring them down, feeling those shoulder blades squeeze as we bring them down with a nice standing march. As we go, I will give you a slight introduction of Barre. I have some regulars, but still always good to remind everyone. If you're new, Barre is a combination of yoga, Pilates, and ballet. We focus on targeting small areas of your body that maybe aren't focused on during your regular workouts with low weight or body weight exercises with high repetition. It's moderate, but still get a great sweat on. All right, we're gonna add in a twist in 4, 3, 2, 1. Take that opposite elbow to knee and just add in a twist. We're getting our heart rate going while also waking up those obliques and those hands. Meant legs, but your arms are also being woken up this morning too. With this new side, you guys can see my wall and how I've haphazardly decorated it. I'm not the best decorator, but I try. All right, we're gonna go for 4, 3, 2, last one. Good. Keeping those hands above your head, we're gonna transition into a standing run. Start off by just standing and kicking behind you, kicking your glutes and bringing those hands up and down for a nice punch. You can stay with this option for low impact, or if you're looking to raise that heart rate a little bit more, we're gonna make it a little standing run, kicking those glutes behind you as we punch up. I am feeling my heart rate start to raise. Always nice to get our heart rate a little raised before we get into the meat of the workout. Being cognizant of the space around you, making sure you're not kicking anything. We're gonna go for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One last little cardio burst before we go into some more stretches. We're gonna start with some nice clean push-ups. Starting out with our low impact option, just step out to the side, bringing your arms up and down. Just tapping that foot to your side. And if you're looking for a higher impact, we can do a full jumping jack. So whatever option works for you, whatever gets a heart rate going. We're gonna go for 10 more. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job. My heart rate is going. I hope yours is too. All right, we're gonna transition into the next portion of our warm-up by getting our legs into a nice second position. You want your feet a little bit more than shoulder distance apart. And we're just gonna go into a nice grand plie. So bending those legs so that your knees are above your ankles, nice deep plie. And as you straighten, picturing you're sliding up and down a wall, meaning you have a nice neutral spine. Your glutes aren't tucked in or out. And we're gonna add in some arms. Plie and raise those hands above your head for some nice ballet arms. Second position and first position. This is Barre, so we like to incorporate ballet moves even outside of our actual Barre portion. Love a nice grand plie. If you know me and my classes, I like to incorporate these a lot. I think they're a great deep muscle recruitment. All right, now that we've gotten comfortable here, we're going to add on with 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, staying in that second position, you're going to shift your weight to your right foot. Next time you come up, coming into a nice tendu position, keeping those hips square, arms to your sides. You're just going to have a nice pointed toe turned out, meaning your knee is out towards the side. Then you're going to come back down into second position, grand plie, same positioning as before, and then switch to the other side. Now my standing foot is my left foot, my right leg is pointed, and then I'm going to come back down. And you just transition between these two, using those muscles to lift you up as you go down, lifting, making sure you're engaging your core. And if you want, you can do it double time. So down, tap, tap. And then for some added mind-body connection, you can raise those hands and you come up into that tendu. Ooh. My heart rate is raised. Maybe if you're listening to some music, you can go with the beat or just the sound of my breathing. Whew. We're gonna go for 4, 3, last 2, last 1. All right, coming back down into that second position, making sure your positioning is the same. You have a nice neutral spine. We're just going to wake up those obliques a little bit more. So keeping your arms straight, we're just going to twist slightly to the right, keeping them in a nice diagonal line as far as you can, feeling that nice stretch in your obliques and your core, and then coming back to center. And just going to the other side. As you do that, I'm just going to turn on my fan. The heat that we generate in post-class often will make it so that gotta turn that bad boy on. I always forget. We'll do 2 more. Ooh. Last one. Good. Straightening up, turning those legs in toward, so they're facing straight in front of you, straightening those arms above you, flat back down. We're just going to stretch out our legs. So bend your legs and straighten as I reposition a bit. So bend deep down, feeling that nice deep stretch in your hamstrings. Whew. Last 2. 1 more. Good. All right. Shifting your hips to the side. You're now going to be facing towards, for me, the right. It could be the left for you. Your legs are stacked one in front of the other. Hips are square towards the side. Bring those arms straight up and come back down for a nice deep stretch again. Feeling that nice stretch, maybe bending and straightening a few times to deepen the stretch. Doesn't matter how flexible you are, we're just waking up our muscles. Last 2, last 1. All right, straightening that leg out behind you, we're gonna go into a nice deep runner's lunge. You want your knee above your ankle. You want your hips stacked to the sides, one hand on each side of your foot. Deepening into that stretch, using your breath to strengthen it. And then lifting the same arm of the foot that's in the front. So for me, that's my right hand, to lift into a nice twist, looking up towards that hand. Breathing in to deepen the stretch. 1 more time. Bringing that hand back down, shooting that leg back up, giving your leg 1 more rub, and then transitioning back into the middle. And we're just gonna repeat that all on our other side. So shifting your feet to the other side. For me, that's my left side. Putting 1 hand by each foot, maybe rubbing the back of that hamstring and bending those legs and straightening. So this is your warm-up, your workout, so whatever feels comfortable for you today. 2, 1. Shooting that right leg out back, keeping that left leg up front, 1 hand on each side to deepen that stretch. And then we're going to lift that front arm. So for me, that's my left arm, up towards the ceiling, looking up towards it for a nice deep twist. Breathing in and breathing out. Bringing that arm back down, coming back into that other position, rubbing the leg 1 more time, and then back to center. Straightening up, we're going to come to the end of our mat, and finish our warm up down on the ground. So straightening those arms up, flat back down, and then walking your fingers out towards the end of your mat so you're in a nice plank position. For this plank position, you want to make a straight line from your shoulder to your wrist, fingers spread out, core engaged, not drooping, keeping yourself like a nice wooden plank. Maybe rocking forward and backwards on those toes, just to get a bit comfortable in this position. Shooting your hips back, we're going to go into our downward dog. Downward dog is a great stretch, one of my favorites. Looking between your hands towards your feet. Say hello, feet. Bending one leg and then the other to walk the dog. A nice, deep, deep stretch. Taking that right leg, we're going to do a three-legged dog and incorporate some yoga into our warm-up. So raising that right leg, being cognizant of the space around you, looking towards your fingers, bringing that right leg through your body, past your hips, toward your elbow. Drawing it into the center, hold, not letting it rest on the ground, and then bringing it back up into that raised position. And then bringing it back through again. We're going to do 5 in total on each leg, and then shooting it back up. This is our third. We're working on our core a bit and getting it woken up. In today's warm-up, 4, 1 more, shooting it out, and then bringing it forwards. All right, coming back into that plank position, maybe rocking forward and backwards if you need to, resting on your knees on the ground for a minute before coming back up, shooting your hips back into that downward dog, lifting up your opposite leg. So for me, that's my left leg, straightening it behind you, and then bringing it through your hips, past them to your elbows. And then shooting it back, straightening it behind you. This is 2. We're on 3 next. This is our 4th. Whew. Last one. Good work. All right, bringing those hips to the ground, or those knees to the ground, we're gonna finish up our warm-up with some mountain climbers. All right, so coming up on your knees, bringing those knees in, we're just gonna do 10. Ready? You can do it just tapping or faster pace. Here we go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good work. Maybe bring those hips back into a nice child's pose. This is your opportunity to maybe grab a quick sip of water as you transition into the arms portion of our workout. I'm gonna grab a quick sip. Whew. Killer warm up today, guys. You're doing great. We're going to change things up a bit and just start in our standing position. No mat work today for our arms workout. So you will have the option during today's arm workout to be in a second position, grand plie. We will be incorporating some movement in later if you would like to do so. It is just an option. You can also just stay in a straight, nice standing position. It is just an option that you have if you would like to add in a little extra level to your workout today. So we're going to start by bringing our hands to our sides, facing our palms down, and picturing there's a ball right by our palms. Picturing this ball like a beach ball, you're just going to curve your hands around it and face up with a nice slight bend. And then curve it back over. So we're just going under and over this ball. Slight bend in those hands as we curve up and down. And if you're looking for that added work, just go into a grand plie. Same positioning that we did during our warm-up. Feeling that nice curve. Feeling that burn from just lifting our hands and then picturing we're just rubbing our hands around this ball. Palms up and then palms down. we're gonna be here having our arms up for a bit. So mentally, maybe prepare yourself for that. If at any point you need to rest, shake out your arms, that is completely normal and fine. We are not used to having our hands up this much. And it feels kind of weird, and your arms scream and burn at you, and are burning. While we do this, I'll explain some of my posters in the background. Behind me, I have Duck, North Carolina. Visited there, got the famous, world famous duck donuts from the original store, which was delicious. Got that nice tapestry, and then some pictures of my friends and some of my favorite movies. I think I have a picture of The Shining up there. It's one of my favorite movies. Kind of a weird one, but yeah. All right, we got 4 more. 3. Last 2. 1. We're keeping our arms up. We're just going to face our palms forward and pulse forward. For these pulses, we're not bouncing. We're just moving forward an inch and back an inch. And we're going to do this for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Flip those palms to face back. We're just going to do the same thing, pulsing backwards. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Face forward. We're going to do it again for 8. For 8, we're going to do 2 sets of 8, 2 sets of 4, and then 2 sets of 2, and then 1, 2, 1. Flip backwards for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Flip forward. 4, 3, 2, 1. 4, 3, 2, 1. We got one more set of 4. Oh, my hands are burning. Flip. 4, 3, 2, 1. Flip. 1, 2. Flip. 1, 2. Flip. 1. We're almost there. 1, 2. Flip. 1, 1, 1, 1. Good job. If you need to, take a moment, shake out those hands. We're still going for our no weight bar portion of our workout. Make those hands into fists, flipping them down, and we're just going to do some little arm circles with these fists. Whew, feeling that burn. It's crazy how much just no weight arm workouts can really burn and tone your arms. We got it for 4. We're going to switch directions. 3, 2, 1. Switch, going backwards now. We're really burning out those shoulders today. I am feeling it. Small movements backwards. We go. 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, flip those palms up. Still in those fists though, we're just going to flex those muscles like we're Hercules, doing a nice bicep curl, maybe incorporating that grand plie, straightening those hands and curling up. We are now targeting those biceps like we're some Greek gods. I always use Hercules as an example, but there's many I can use, I guess. Could do Wonder Woman. I could do The Rock, Jason Momoa. A lot of great buff people out there that we can envision, or ourselves. Picture yourself doing these nice bicep curls. All right, we got 8 more. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, you're gonna bring those hands in front of you, keeping those fists. You can bring those legs together a bit, having your elbows touching and your forearms, bringing those hands in front of you. You're just gonna curl those biceps up and in. So making sure that your forearms and elbows are touching as you curl in, really feeling that tension in those biceps. You won't be able to straighten completely. It's kind of a funky pose, but targets those biceps in a fun way that maybe you're not so used to. Ooh, feeling that burn. We curl up and down. We got 2 more. All right, bringing those hands out in front of you, maybe taking a moment, shaking them out, we're going to transition into our chest workout. Facing those palms away from you with your thumbs facing down, maybe giving yourself a slight bend in those knees. We're just going to pulse out and press in. This is just a different form of a chest press. You are making your own tension, so really pushing out, picturing, I don't know, there's a big boulder in front of you, and as you're pushing it out, and then it's coming back. Pushing it out. Nah. I really am picturing a lot of Greek mythology today. Rock coming back and you having to push it up. Don't know why, but maybe that should be the theme for today's class. If at any point during a class, as always, if you have any questions or any movement feels weird, or you just have any comments, feel free to chat in our chat function, or you'll have the option, you can just chat me privately. All right, we got a few more. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job. Bring those hands to your side. We have one more portion of our no weight bar arms portion before I'll add in some arms. It's a fun one, very melodic and like an angel. You're going to come back into that second position, taking your arms out to your sides, palms facing down. You're just going to plie, and then when you come up, raise those hands together so your wrists are nearly touching, and then straightening them back down. It's fun. It's melodic, very dancer-like as we straighten and bend. After all the work we've just done, my arms are burning. So we plie and straighten. Whew. We got a few more. If you're listening to music, you're going to the beat. We got 4, 3, last 2, last 1. Good work. We are almost done with our arms portion. Most of that was body weight, but now I will give you the option if you would like to use some weights to really burn out our triceps and back. Today, I have 1 can of chickpeas, 1 thing of olive oil. Together, it's a delicious meal. Today, right now, though, they're my weights. So coming into your skier position, you want your feet shoulder distance apart. You're going to bend, give yourself a nice bend in those knees, hinging forward with a flat back about 45 degrees, looking 3 to 4 feet in front of you. We're going to start by working out our chest, or our back, excuse me. Bringing those hands up to your sides so your wrists are touching, picturing if there was a pencil behind your shoulder blades, you're squeezing that down, and then straightening up. Just some nice standing rows, like for rowers. You squeeze up and down, making sure you're looking 3 to 4 feet in front of you. Maybe that's looking at your mat. That's what I'm looking at. And my floor, which is reminding me I need to clean today. Spending a lot of time in my room, I'm sure you all are too, makes you really want to keep it nice and clean. All right, we got a few more, and then we're going to pulse it out. 4, 3, 2, 1. Staying up, you're just going to do small pulses up, feeling that squeeze in those shoulder blades for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job. All right, keeping those elbows right by your sides, we're going to transition into some tricep extensions. So just bringing those weights passing by your hips to make a straight line like you're a skier, about to go off on the slope, and then curling them back in again. Curling out and in, really isolating those triceps. Making sure you're keeping the positioning that we mentioned before, flat back, 45-degree tilt, looking 3 to 4 feet in front of you. If at any point this tweaks out your neck a bit, you're feeling strange, feel free to message me or take a pause from this workout. So we curl in and out. Whew. In and out again. We got 4 more, and then we're going to add on 3, last 2, last 1. Staying out, we're just going to pulse it up. Same as before. Once again, we're not bouncing, we're just moving up an inch and down an inch. That really makes sure you're being targeted with your muscles, very intentional as we move up and down. Ooh, I am feeling that burn. We pulse and up and down for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Staying up, clap your hands together, maybe touching those weights and coming back out. Clapping, feeling that burn. We clap for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have one more portion. We're going to pulse up and clap. Pulse up and clap. Oh, really burning out those triceps. We will feel that tomorrow. We got 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Good job. Coming up, that finishes up our arms portion, so you can set down those weights. Maybe taking a quick minute to stretch out those hands, bringing your palm facing away from you, tugging on those fingers a bit, and then switching hands. This is also a great moment if you would like to towel off or grab a quick sip of water before we transition into our arms portion of our workout. I'm gonna grab my quick sip of water. I encourage you to do the same. Important to stay hydrated throughout our workout today. All right, and with that, we are going to transition into our standing bar portion. So now is the time where you can grab that chair, desk, bed, whatever works for you. I will be using my trusty desk chair. We're going to start with one hand on the bar and our feet in first position. First position, you want your heels almost touching. They don't have to actually be touching. Feet turned out in a nice soft turnout, not feeling uncomfortable. And we're just going to place one hand on our hip, considering we just really burned out our arms and we can give them a slight break. So we're going to start out by lifting those heels, into a nice releve, bending your legs, lowering those heels and straightening. Just a quick little warm up of our legs, reminding us how to do our plies in first. One of my favorite bar combos to burn out those glutes, thighs, and calves. We'll do 4 more. 2, and then we're just going to switch directions. So saying you're going to plie, lift your heels, straighten them, and lower. Just slightly changing the direction, waking up your mind. Maybe going to whatever rhythm you're listening to. We'll do 4 more. Last 2. Last 1. All right, good work. We're going to transition into our plie section. So staying in that positioning, coming up into releve, lifting those heels, bringing your heels together so they're touching or kissing. That's how my ballet teacher would always say. And we're just going to plie down to a nice deep plie and straighten up, picturing you're creating a diamond and then zipping it back up. Using those calves, those inner thighs to zip up and lower. Going down as much as you can comfortably, making sure you're keeping that neutral spine. Plie and straighten. Good work. Yeah, 4 more and then we're gonna add on. 3, last 2, last 1. All right, coming down, we're going to go all the way down and halfway up. All the way down and halfway up. This is working our mid-range. You might start having your legs shake a bit. That is completely normal. We're not used to staying in this positioning, in this area. And then we lean into that discomfort. This is challenging our muscles to be a little bit different positioning. Ooh. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Staying up in that mid-range, we're going to change things up a bit with this little combo we do, staying in the mid-range with a nice bend in those legs. We're just going to butterfly, flap our wings in and out. So you're in that mid-range, not fully in grand plie. You're flapping in, using those inner thighs, pretending you're a butterfly, feeling that burn. Whew. We flap in for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Straightening those legs, coming down. We're taking a quick breath. We're going to transition into our next portion of our bar workout. So, keeping in this first position plie, we're going to draw a little fancy line with our knee. So you're going to come into plie, first position, keeping your standing leg bent. You're going to lift that right leg, keeping it turned out, crossing in front using your knee, crossing it out. And when you straighten, tapping it to the side in a fondue, like we did in our warm-up. Once again, you plie, cross in front, and straighten. This is a move we do a lot in ballet. Sometimes we'd add on a kick up to here. I can never do that, but the real ballerinas could. Feeling that nice twist, making sure that our hips are staying in the same positioning. We're just crossing that leg. So we plie and straighten. And when you tendu that foot, having that right knee up towards the ceiling. And if you're looking for an added option, next time you straighten that leg, don't let it rest on the ground. Have it hover slightly above the ground and then come back. This is just meaning that we're not resting on the ground, making sure that when you come up, you're not sitting in that hip. You're nice and elevated and lifting up, feeling there's a string on top of your head, lifting you up towards the ceiling. Yeah, 4 more. 3, 2, 1. Good work. We're going to repeat that all on the other side. We're not going to repeat our first position plies, but just our standing bar portion. I'm going to be doing it a little differently so you can still see me, but you can switch arms. Staying in first position now, having your opposite leg standing, give yourself a nice plie. Twist that opposite leg, I mean that's my left leg, in front of the other, and straighten to a tendu. Having that knee facing out towards the side as we cross, maintaining lifted, picturing that string lifting us up. I like it. This move, it's a little, very like ballerina-y, very dancer-like, but also burns out those muscles. All right, and if you are looking for that added option, next time you come up, just lift that leg up to the side, same positioning. We are now just lifted, and then lowering back to cross and lift. Crossing that knee, doing that little swish and lift. Keeping your leg turned out. So we shrink and lower. Whew. Feeling that burn for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good work. We have one more portion of our standing bar workout, and then we'll transition into our mat workout. We are going to place both our hands on the bar, and we're going to be doing some arabesque and some work to isolate our glutes. So keeping your hips square towards the bar, picturing there's 2 spotlights on them, and you want them to be facing the direction you are resting. You will have your upper body elevated, straighten that right knee and right leg behind you, knee facing down towards the ground, slight bend in that standing leg. You're just going to lift and lower. Nice arabesque, using that upper thigh and lower glute to lift you up and lower, keeping those hips square, keeping that upper body elevated. So you're lifting up and lowering. Whew, feeling that burn, that sweat come on. I always like to share with you guys when I'm sweating, because maybe we can commiserate together. I'm certainly sweating. We got 4 more we're gonna add on. 3, 2, 1. This time you're going to stay up, and we're just going to do some tiny pulses. Picturing you're lifting from here. We pulse up for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Staying lifted, just draw a tiny circle. Picturing you have a pencil on the end of your leg. And you're drawing a circle for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch directions for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bringing that knee in, we're going to flex our foot, making a nice 90-degree angle. And we're going to lift to the side like we're a dog at a fire hydrant, and then lowering down, having your knees at an equal level. This works the side of our glute. We lift up and lower. It's funny positioning, funny imagery, but it gets the job done. Or maybe picturing your own dog if you have one, or your neighbor's dog, someone. As we lift up for 4, 3, 2, 1. Lowering down, taking a minute, regaining your breath. We have one more portion of our standing bar before we transition into our mat finish. So straightening that leg out in front of you. This time for me, it's my left leg. For you, it might be right, whatever one you were not just using. Having a slight bend in that right leg, keeping your upper body lifted. We're just going to lift and lower for a nice arabesque. Lift, using that upper glute, the lower glute and upper thigh, keeping those hips square, remembering the spotlights. Using this lift, leading into the burn, to lift and lower. Whew. We are so close to being able to lay down on the mat. We'll still have some work, but at least we'll be laying down. We got 4 more. 3, 2, 1. This time lift, we're pulsing for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Picturing that pencil on the end of your foot. We're circling for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch directions for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job. Keeping that leg lifted, bringing it to your side. This time that foot is flexed. Your knees are equal. Picturing that dog at the fire hydrant. We're going to lift and lower. I can sneak a peek at the mirror, at the camera with my mirror, so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm not going completely crazy with my movements. We lift and lower. We're almost there. You guys are so close. You're doing great. Ooh. On that burn for 4, 3, 2, 1. Whew, good job. Take a minute, regain your breath. Maybe grab a quick sip of water. We're going to transition into our seated portion. Ooh, that's killer. I feel like I was the most sweaty during these workouts that I do, but if I'm not sweating, I got to sweat with you guys. That's what I always say. So we're going to lay down on our left side onto our mat. You can protect your head by either laying down or putting your hand on your head, using your upper arm to stabilize, whatever is most comfortable for you. Slight bend in that lower leg, and with the top leg, you're going to straighten it out with a nice flexed foot, and we're just going to lift and lower. Keeping those hips stacked on top of each other. We're not opening up, we're lifting. Isolating those glutes a bit more. We lift and lower. For 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to add on. We're going to lift up vertically, bring our foot out to the side, 45-degree angle. and lift to the side, bringing it back, lifting up, out to the front, and lift. This is just really burning out our glutes. A nice flexed foot, hips stacked on top of each other, burning them out. Whew. 4 more. 3. Last 2. 1 more. 1. Good job. Now we're going to work our inner thigh of our lower leg by crossing our right leg on top of that other one, keeping our hips stacked, having that lower leg straighten with a flexed foot, using that arm to stabilize you, and lifting and lowering. This is targeting our inner thigh. It's kind of a pretzel stretch, so it may take you a bit to get comfortable, putting your leg wherever you need to for flexibility wise. We're gonna lift for 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job. Switch to your other side. We're going to repeat that all and then transition into our core workout. You get to see the lighting change drastically during my workouts. So bottom leg bent, straightening that top leg with a nice flex foot. You can use your hand to stabilize you. We're gonna lift and lower. The minute it turned September, I was really ready for it to be like fall weather. I don't know if you guys felt the same. Fall has always been my favorite season. Love everything about it. And I'm not built for the heat, so I'm very excited for once the weather starts to cool down. But today is not that day. Today, when I looked, the high was 96, which is just terrible. Maybe you like the heat, maybe it works for you, but for me, not so much. I'm gonna lift for 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to add on by lifting, bringing that leg 45 degrees in front of you and lifting again. We're just adding on, working out slightly different areas of our glutes. So we burn out these legs. Whew. There's always one leg that feels just a lot more wonky than the other, which is totally normal. You naturally, during the day, use one side of your body a bit more, so it's very normal to have a side that feels a little less easy than the other. We got 4, 3, we got 2, we got 1. Good job. All right, we're going to straighten that bottom leg now, crossing our left leg on top of the other for this nice pretzel stretch, using our left hand to stabilize us. Our bottom leg, we're going to flex that foot, and we're just gonna lift and lower, using that inner thigh to lift. Whew. Feeling that burn. Lift and lower. This is our last leg portion, and we're going to transition into our core and then a cool down before we say our goodbyes for this week. We're lifting for 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job. That finishes our leg workout for today. I'm gonna fix my mat a bit. And we're gonna transition into our core now. We're gonna start by going into a plank position. So I'm gonna switch sides just so I have a bit more room. For this plank, I'm gonna ask that you do a hover position, meaning you have your forearms stacked on the ground and you straighten those legs out for a nice tight plank position. If you want, you can rest your knees on the ground. We're going to be doing some hip dips, so either option works. If you're in that standing knee position, you're just going to just spiral those hips so your right hip is facing towards the ground, almost touching, then come back into our plank position and then towards the left. This is burning out our obliques and our core. So we spiral, lift, spiral, lift. I am feeling that shaking, burning in my core. That is totally what we're looking for right now. We're burning out our core. 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming back to the center, we're just gonna hold that plank for 30 seconds. So getting nice and comfortable. Maybe thinking about your plans for the rest of the day. Maybe you have fun dinner plans, or you're gonna binge a show, or you just get relax. Whatever you're feeling today. You put a lot of work in today, so you earned some you time. Even this is you time. You are focusing on your body. You are devoting yourself to whatever you looked forward to for today for your workout, which is amazing. We're almost done. We got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower those knees. Whew. Feeling that burn. We're gonna finish up our core portion of our workout by laying down on our back. So for this, we're gonna do a little bit of a new move. I think it's a little fun. You're gonna put your feet into a butterfly position and then lay down on the ground. So the butterfly, your hips are open, your ankles can be as close to your hips as you would like. Just make sure you can see me. And we're going to straighten our arms out in front of you and do a nice crunch, looking towards your toes and lowering down. Crunching up, lowering. If this at all is uncomfortable for your neck, just take one of your hands and make a nice bucket behind that head. Really, the arms help, but it's picturing that we're using that upper core right now. We're isolating it to really burn out these upper abs. Feeling that burn. I know I am. We got 4 more, and then we're gonna stay up and pulse. 3, last 2. We're gonna stay up and just tiny pulses, tiny crunches. We got 16, 15, 14, 13, 10, 11, or 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job lowering those hands down to your sides. I always mess up counting. I get too focused on the work. All right, so bringing those hands to your sides to make a nice bucket cup with your head. You're going to lift your shoulders and core, bringing that right leg in for a nice crunch. And we're just gonna hold it here for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're just going to switch and keep with our left foot. You have the option to have that leg resting on the ground or lift it as we hold for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switching again, and we're gonna hold for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch again, and we're holding for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch again, and we're gonna hold for 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch again, we're gonna hold for 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch, hold for 2, 1. Switch, 2, 1. We're gonna go for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job lowering down. We got one more workout for our lower body, and then we are going to finish up. So we're just going to do 10 leg lowers. So straightening those legs up by over your hips, legs flexed and over straight you would like. We're just going to lower down and straighten back up. That's 10. Lower down. 9, using that lower core this time. 8, 7, so close. 6, 5, 4, 3, we're almost there. 2, feeling that burn, embracing it. And 1. Good job. Lower those legs. That finishes up the work portion of our workout. We're now going to transition into our cool down, just as important as the rest of it, so please stick around and join in on some of the stretching. So taking a minute, just laying down on the ground, breathing in for 3, and exhale. Breathing in, exhale. All right, bringing your right knee in, we're going to do a nice twisting stretch. First, rolling out that ankle, and then going in the other direction. Taking that right leg across your body, twisting it over so your hips twist, and going till your shoulders feel like they're about to fall, and then stay in this position, looking in the opposite direction. Keeping your shoulders on the ground, looking to the opposite side, feeling that nice deep stretch in your obliques. Breathing in and exhaling. Coming back to the center. Bringing that right leg in for one more hug before shooting it out and bringing in that left knee. Rolling that ankle and then going in the opposite direction. Taking your left hand, twisting that leg over your body just to the point where your shoulders are about to fall on the ground, while looking in the opposite direction to lean into that nice deep stretch. Inhale and exhale. One more. Coming back up, bringing in both your knees for another hug before rolling up into a seated position. Stretching those legs out in front of you, placing those hands right behind your back, flexing those feet, and then pointing them. Maybe alternating between the two to roll out those legs, keeping a nice straight back. Keeping that nice straight back, raising your hands over your body to lower down towards your ankles, leaning down as much as you can, pointing those feet, breathing in, and exhaling, and then flexing those feet, breathing in, exhaling, one more. Bringing those legs in towards your body, we're gonna go into a nice butterfly stretch with a nice flat back. Just keeping those legs together. I'll face towards you. You can see me. Regaining your breath, feeling that nice stretch. Shooting your arms up above your head to lean over. It's a nice deep stretch. However far down you can go, depending on your flexibility, is totally fine. Maybe taking one more breath to deepen the stretch before exhaling again. Planting both your feet onto the ground. We're going to roll up, stacking each vertebra on top of each vertebra. So we roll out. Roll those shoulders back one time, and then roll them forwards. Stretching your hand across your body, just like we did in our warm-up. And then switching sides. Taking your hand, give a nice slight pull on that head to stretch out that neck. And then going on the other side. Finishing, putting those legs back into second position, bringing your arms to your sides, doing a nice deep plie to inhale and exhale to bring your hands above your body. Inhale, thanking your body for all the work it just did, and exhale. One more time. Inhale, exhale, and bring your hands to heart center. Thank you so much. That finishes our class. I'm going to stop our recording, but